President. I'm happy to say that Jairo Boliedo is ready to join us now. Jairo, welcome. What does it look like there? What are your highlights from day two?
Yeah. The second day of the trial of the Vice President basically became a battle of technicalities, objections, overrules, and sustain. So ito yung mga salitang paulit na narinig natin sa ikalawang araw nga ng trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Among the highlights ay yung pag-object nga ni Attorney Carlo Narvasa or CJ Narvasa ng Fortune Salazar, Narvasa Salazar Law Firm para doon sa mga pagpapresenta ng ebidensya ng prosecution. Yung isang highlight doon ay yung pag-object niya on the use of photocopy. Although for normal people, they would think na oo nga naman, bakit naman photocopy ang ginagamit na ebidensya? Actually, the amended rules on evidence allows the use of photocopies. And in 2025, the Supreme Court in fact reiterated in the Lastimosa case that photocopies may be used as evidence as long as there is no question on the authenticity of the original document, and it would not be unfair to use the photocopy as evidence. So apart from the photocopy, nga naging highlight din ay yung objections ni Attorney Narvasa doon sa pagpapresenta nga po na ebidensya nitong prosecution. Ngayon, yung objections na yon, some people think that it was actually a futile attempt to delay the trial kasi po itong ginagawa ng prosecution ay hindi pa naman formal of evidence. They're just presenting their documentary evidence. And usually, you don't object to documentary evidence kasi sa dulo or meron pang formal offer of evidence na tinatawag and you object there. Ibig sabihin, during the presentation of documentary evidence, pwedeng palipasin mo na lang muna yan. And then sa dulo ka na lang or kapag nagkaroon na ng formal offer of evidence, ito yung bibigay na talaga actual sa korte, doon ka mag-object. That's the usual process sana. Pero tinanong natin yan kay Attorney Michael Poa sa press conference nila, bakit sila object ng object. Sabi nila, it's within their rights, tama naman po yun. At sabi din nila ay kung may mga questions na during the presentation of the documentary evidence, they can actually raise that. Pero so far, karamihan doon sa mga motions na ni-raise ay the impeachment court ended up favoring the prosecution at konti lang yung na-secure na sustentions nitong defense. Ngayon punta tayo sa press conference ni Attorney Michael Poa, ang spokesperson ng defense. Ang sabi niya, tinanong natin siya, do they count this as a victory for them or for the prosecution? Ang sabi nila, katulad ng sinabi niya kahapon, they don't count losses or victories dito sa kanilang trial. Ngayon ay tinanong din natin sila about doon sa move or kagustuhan kasi nag-motion kanina si Private Prosecutor Lorna Capunan na baka pwede imbitahan si Vice President Sara Duterte as a key witness for the prosecution dito sa trial. Ang sabi ni Attorney Poa ay bahala daw ang prosecution doon, it's up to them at magko-comment sila when the actual motion is already at the impeachment court. Tinanong din natin sila tungkol doon sa petition ng mga abogado na konektado kay Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte kasi nagpetition po itong sila Attorney Israelito Torion sa Supreme Court questioning, challenging the election of Senator Cheese Escudero as the presiding officer of the Senate Impeachment Court. Ang sabi ni Attorney Poa ay no comment sila doon dahil hindi pa rin nila napag-uusapan actually sa defense yung punto na yon. Isa rin sa mga highlight ay yung kay kagustuhan ng prosecution na i-present si dating Chief of Staff ni Vice President Sara Duterte na si Zuleika Lopez. Ang sabi ng defense ay magpe-prepare na lang sila in case dumating or in case umabot sa ganoong punto. Naulit kanina, natanong ulit yung appearance ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Diniretso na sila ng media. Is that actually or was that actually an attempt to intimidate the senator judges? Di ba yun parang optics lang? Ang sabi ni Poa ay we should not make something or create something out of nothing. It was just a meeting. Sabi ni POA. Ngayon, natanong nyo to kanina, John, kay Patrick, yung sa alleged walkout ni Attorney Sison, yung lead counsel ng defense. Tinanong natin dyan, tungkol dyan, si Attorney POA, ang sabi niya, hindi naman daw nag-walkout, nag-CR lang or pumunta lang sa comfort room. And in fact, nung narinig nga, nagkaroon ng commotion, bumalik pa daw si Attorney Sison sa loob ng session hall to announce na pupunta lang siya, magbe-break lang siya ng saglit. Tinanong din natin if mayroon bang marching order itong si Vice President Sara Duterte dito sa defense. Na pag-usapan ba kanina yon, sabi ni Attorney POA ay walang marching order dahil prepared na sila for this trial. And lastly, ay tinanong din natin if the Vice President will be a staple here at the Senate. Lagi ba siyang bibisita pero hindi attend ng trial? Ang sabi ni Attorney POA ay hindi na napag-uusapan yan. Wala silang usapan about the schedule of the Vice President. Iyan ang highlights, John, mula dito sa Senate.
Thank you, Jairo. Jairo, tungkol dun sa series of objections, no, sa photocopies, no? Sabi mo nga, it's already established jurisprudence. Is it possible, I'm linking this to Dwight's idea na yung idea na may script yung witness, no, from the NBI, sabi ni CJ Narvasa, could this be possibly be material for messaging, no? Parang may you can point to something and say, well, photocopy lang yan eh, parang ganun.
I think what the defense is trying to do is, to question the credibility of the prosecution witness, and that's actually a regular tactic for the defense, impeaching the witness. It's a usual tactic in any litigation. Talagang kailangan mo kasing mag-create ng duda doon sa sinasabi ng witness mo. In this case kasi, mahirap kasing questionin yung actual credibility niya as a witness kasi siya mismo ang eksperto na nag-analyze noon. And na-establish kanina sa trial yung credibility niya as a forensic expert. Nabanggit din kanina na meron siyang extensive training about open source investigation, forensic examinations, digital examinations, etc. etc. So, pumunta sila doon sa second best possible way to question his credibility, and that is through the available documentary evidence linked to him. Kaya yung pumunta sila doon sa konsepto ng photocopies et al. Let us remember, John, na again, the impeachment court is not just a court of legal opinion but also of public opinion. They're basically, preaching to the choir, to the supporters of the Vice President that we're doing our jobs. Itong witness na to ay hindi siya credible, etc., etc. Because at the end of the day, they also need to touch on the base. They also need to consider the public opinion, what the people think, what the public thinks about this trial.
Of course, it's not a criminal case, no, where the standard of proof is beyond a reasonable doubt, no. So even if they even if they raise doubts, that doesn't necessarily mean that the senators will be convinced one way or the other. We have a question for you from Chai.
Yeah, Jairo, quick question lang. Balikan ko lang yung nangyari this morning, no, with the Vice President. Do you think, kasi she was there, she was in the area, but she didn't show up during the trial itself. Para ba siyang act of defiance also on the part of VP Sara? And if Attorney POA told the media na it depends kung haharap ba siya or hindi, eventually ba you think it will backfire if she continues acting that way, that she does not show up and just makes her presence felt?
Yeah. Tingin ko doon personally ay it's a statement na I can do what I want. I will do what I want. I'm the Vice President. Yes, I am, cooperating with your impeachment proceedings, but let my lawyers take care of it. Pero ako, pupunta ako dito, magpapakita ako, but not necessarily I will show up in your proceedings because I am the Vice President and I will not be under your jurisdiction. It's more of that, messaging, optics again. And more so, ang maganda ring optics doon, at least for the part of the Vice President, is that, yun nga, pumunta na siya dito, pero hindi siya nagpakita sa trial. That's actually, for me, is an act of defiance. But again, on the other hand, we can also see it as a way of, touching on the base, on her base again. Kasi kahapon, nagkaroon ng pagkakataon ng prosecution na gamitin yung absence niya to attack the Vice President. Credibility and all that. Sabi ni Attorney Joel Chua, ni Representative Joel Chua and Representative Laila De Lima, although yes, under the Senate impeachment rules, the rules on impeachment proceedings ay hindi required ang isang respondent na mag-appear personally, importante na nandito siya because we're talking about accountability. And yung absence mo is a sign of disrespect. According yan kay Representative Laila De Lima. So ito, on the other hand, makikita din natin to as a way ni Sara Duterte to refute that, diba? To reclaim the narrative na hindi ako nagdi-disrespect, I can be there if I want to. It's just that I don't want to, that I will be there if I want to. So both optics for her part, and then at the same time, yun, para i-refute itong prosecution.
There's another, just to follow up, a second question. Di ba si Senator Risa Ontiveros raised a question and then sinagot yon and then sinabi na it sounds like a closing statement. So was she wrong in asking that question? Although she did clarify that what she was really after was to establish whether the video that was shown ay material ba to the impeachment charge.
I think may point din naman doon, to be fair, yung defense, because if we're gonna look at the pre-trial brief submitted by the defense, isa doon sa apat na issues na ni-raise nila before sa impeachment courts, isa doon ay kung yung mga allegations ba ng House of Representatives ay nagko-constitute ng impeachable offense. And that's actually the line of questioning ni Senator Risa Ontiveros kung ito bang mga alleged threats na to, etc., ay nagko-constitute ng mga impeachable offenses na yon. I think they're coming from a point na nagsisimula pa lang kasi yung trial. Let the evidence roll on the court. Let us, the prosecution, let's allow the prosecution to present the evidence, do the direct examination, let the defense do the cross-examination, etc., etc. So I think that's really the context there. They just want for the evidence, to be presented during the trial. Kaya yun yung doon galing yung term na parang tinatapos na or parang closing statement na. Kasi kapag sinagot kasi yun, with definitive answers, magmumukha nga naman kasing closing statement na at may conclusion na doon sa question na whether kung meron bang impeachable offense or nagko-constitute ba yun ng impeachable offense.
Gemma has a question?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about why there was so much effort put into questioning or even stopping yung playing of the video or questioning the authenticity of the video. Kasi remember, Jairo, this is this is something that the public already watched. And to your point, the impeachment is it's not just about legal but also it's the public opinion, diba? So what's the point there? Why what's the point of what's the point of questioning and parang doesn't that backfire na parang nagkakaroon tuloy ng emphasis on something when you can have a different strategy around this particular particular impeachment charge.
For the general public, ang rule kasi kapag mga trial, ayun nga, binibigyan ng pagkakataon ng prosecution na magpresenta ng ebidensya, ganun din po ang defense. During the presentation, may tinatawag po tayong direct examination, yung ginawa po kanina ng defense, ng prosecution. Pwede po mag-interject, pwede nung magtanong itong defense, katulad ng ginawa kanina, and then may cross-examination din kung saan ko questionin ng defense yung prosecution. So, ang nangyari po kanina, time yon ng prosecution. Oras nila yon to present their evidence. Kaya yung punto kanina, tama naman yon. That's the reason why Senator Cheese Escudero overruled yung motion na wag i-play. Na pinayagan niya yung 2 minutes lang. Kasi that's the time of the prosecution. And if time mo, you have the discretion to present however you want to present your evidence. And if the prosecution thinks na, we just want to play the 2-minute part of that video as long as the court allows it, pwede na i-play yun. Kasi discretion na lang. In fact, binigay na rin kanina, clarify din actually, kanina ni Presiding Officer Chisa Escudero na even the impeachment court could not actually dictate the parties however they want to present their evidence because that's what the jurisprudence says and that's the rule. So sa kanilang time yun. Kaya it's a bit weird na itong defense ay nag-o-object sila on how the prosecution wanted to present their evidence. In fact, may punto din yung kanina na sinabi nila nung sinabi kanina na kung gusto niyo i-play yung 2 hours during ng time nyo. And that's actually possible. During the cross-examination or during the presentation of the defense evidence, kung gusto nilang i-play yung 2-hour video, they could do so. Kasi time nila yon, that's within their right and discretion. So that's the general rule kasi. Now, the question here is, bakit anong purpose? Why would they do that? It's optics. They don't want the prosecution to control the narrative. Kasi kung hinayaan lang nila yon, di sila nag-object, hinayaan lang nila the prosecution to do its job, di ba? It would look like they don't care about the Vice President, that they just let the prosecution control the narrative. At the end of the day, again, it's about optics and narratives.
Speaking of control of the narrative, how did the defense counsel react to the actual airing of the videos? Did you hear from them?
Yeah. Patrick was the one assigned during the actual trial. For context, kami pong mga reporters, mayroong mga holding room. So ako po ay nasa holding room ng defense. So wala po sila sa loob, pero according to Attorney Michael Poa, may mga reactions sila. Hindi siya nag-expound, John, kung yun ba ay violent, kung yun ba ay in support. At tinanong din kasi siya directly about that. Bakit during the presentation, not just tungkol dun sa video, but during the actual presentation of the NBI agent, may mga reactions yung defense. Tinanong natin siya, bakit ganon? Bakit may mga reaction yung defense each time na magpe-present yung prosecution? Ang sabi naman ni Poa ay natural naman yun at common naman yun. And in my experience covering judicial processes, mga hearings, actually normal din naman to have those reactions. As long as hindi naman nun madidisturb yung peace during the trial at hindi yung nagko-constitute ng contemptuous act, wala namang problema. So yung mga minor reactions, etc., as long as hindi na disrupt yung processes, walang problema yun for the part of the court.
You mentioned earlier that, of course, the defense can show the entire 2-hour, 26-minute video, no? From November 23, 2024. We're wondering here in the newsroom whether, in fact, it would be a good thing for the defense to show all of the video. Can you give us an idea of what the defense is thinking probably about this particular option?
To be honest with you, for me, I don't think they are planning to do that. They just wanted to disrupt the prosecution's evidence earlier. They just want to make a statement that they were opposing it, that we actually want that. It's optics na parang, oh, we're not afraid of that video. It doesn't say anything at all. It doesn't mean anything at all. But in reality, I don't think they will play that 2-hour video, especially if you know the context. I haven't watched the entire video, yung 2 hours and 26 minutes na televised press conference na yun ni Vice President Sara Duterte. But if we're gonna look at the important things there, yung mga sinabi doon ni Vice President Sara Duterte, personally, as a non-lawyer, my assessment is it won't actually help the case of the Vice President. Hindi lang kasi threats yung sinabi niya doon. Marami siyang mga bagay na sinabi niya. And if looking from a perspective of a lay person, a non-lawyer person, I don't think it would be really beneficial to them. So it's, again, I think it's just a strategy, optics.
Thank you,
Saka
Jairo.
sayang yung oras to begin with. Kasi, yeah, you have limited time during your presentation and you wouldn't want to spend that time playing a video, a 2-hour-long video.
Thank you, Jairo. Now we'll also reluctantly let you go. Thank you very much. That was Jairo Boliedo, our honorary lawyer and multimedia reporter in the Senate.